Yes, Satchidanand.
Jai Sutta Kashabhai. Jai Sajan Pulinanandji.
Yes, Sajanand.
Can you do three mantra, please? Kashabhai, unmute ko.
Yes.
Namo Vitragaय.
Namo Vitragaय.
Namo Arihantanam.
Namo Arihantanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Vajjayanam.
Namo Uvasayanam.
Namo Loye Savasaunam.
Namo Loe Sabasahunam.
Eso Panchanamukaro.
Eso Panchanamukaro.
Avvabhavapanasano.
Sava Pavapanasano.
Manglanancha Subhesim.
Mangalanam Cha Savesim.
Padamam Havai Mangalam.
Padmam
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om
Namah Shivaya.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai
Jai
Satchidanand.
Sachidanand. Hey, Jai Sajan Matma. Anybody wants to share any experience on JSS Shakti, separation, doubtfulness? Fearlessness.
Yes,
Nobody?
experience I am continuing with Pratikraman, and I am doing Pratikraman, so I feel that is very good technique.
How do you relate that to JSS Shakti, separateness, fearlessness, Sambhave Nikal?
Yeah, Sambhave Nikal, Sambhave Nikal is means I was doing it before also. Means it was coming naturally that I want to settle the files, settle the things, that was coming. So that is what was driving me actually. So driving the file number one, so that we have to do some Bhavanikal. So I didn't know how to do, but so this all came about. The result, online satsang result of came to me as a result of some Bhavanikal only. And slowly it is what you say, separation. Yeah, I feel the separation, since morning, the separation little by little increasing.
Okay, so but Pratikram comes after an event, something happens and not awareness and all that. So maybe Pulinanandji, you can explain the process, what Kashyap is doing?
Pratikraman, can I say something?
Sure.
Pratikraman, what I understood, the Dadaji's technique is very good. Because first we address Dada Bhagwan. It is not only simply apology; it is having a full technique. First we address the Dada Bhagwan, means the pure Bhagwan within us, and then we address the other person's pure soul. So in the process, we are first, following the first two agnas automatically. And then because of the closed files, and there is a past account, that is, we understood that there's a past account. So we have done something, rag dvesh. So that is there. And we, in the present also, we see the doers in the other person. So, and, so therefore all that we can also do apology, past and present, these mistakes. And plus the added benefit is that we see the other person as pure soul and ourselves also as pure soul. We come in that mode. Dadaji has specifically said that he has given this, that seeing the other person's pure soul, so that we remain in that state. So that is the purpose. So I think that is a very scientific method, and we are bound by these files, so Sambhave Nikal. So which was we were talking yesterday, that we are bound by some few 100, 200 files. So that is what is my main focus, Pratikraman and Sambhave Nikal. That is my main focus, and with that it comes, this first one. Yes, please. Yes.
Pulinanandji?
No, I understand. I appreciate. If I broad journey of Kashyapji over the past, say, 3 years or so of online during the COVID, and now after that, there was a lot of understanding on the paths initial months, then a lot of understanding on Dada Bhagwan's speech, and of late all the sutras and all the satsangs that he is listening and going deep into the science and trying to understand. So basically the shift has come from information and knowledge to personal spiritual growth. Where is it that he will personally advance? And then it has come to him by way of understanding, by way of experience, that I've understood science to a large extent. The process is continuing, and where am I stuck? So, as he rightly said, that in the few hundred files or whatever files they are, that's where it needs to be cleansed. And then he found out that Pratikraman is a powerful tool, because you see, doing Sambhave Nikal for sticky files or sticky situations, after some time you feel that how long you have to just keep on doing Sambhave Nikal. This thing is not getting settled very quickly the way we want it. And then it boils down to previous life, past accounts. So it's necessary to cleanse those accounts or to cleanse those attachment, abhorrence, ragdvesh that we are associated with the files. And if it's that, then automatically the dealings with the file improves. And then Sambhave Nikal happens. You don't even have to do it. And gradually, over a period of time, in the whole process of Sambhave Nikal, the ragdvesh sort of dissolves, and then equanimity settles in, and then the file is cleared. And as files get cleared, then our awareness, our Atma Jagrati, spiritual self-awareness increases, and that increased awareness leads to separation that I am separate from the mind, body, speech. I am pure soul. This Atma Jagrati, the self-awareness increases. So in the process of separation, what we have been doing all along, uh, it boils down to how to enhance the separation. So there are one way to look at it is that to be separate, we must find out what prevents us from being separate. What is it that holds back, or what is it that makes us engrossed Tanmayakar with file number one? And among some things are ragdvesh or attachment, abhorrence, then our discharge kashais, our discharge move, and of course our accounts with sticky files. So a large amount of that stickiness with ragdvesh will reduce as we understand the things better and better. What causes the rag, what causes the desh, and some things can be changed by changing our understanding, our perception, and our beliefs. We believe that this is like this, and then we say, no, why are you holding on to your belief? Let go. And if you let go, then some amount of attachment or tanmayakar with our file number one reduces. And another tool is, of course, the Pratikraman, where a lot of attachment, abhorrence we have brought, file number one has brought, so that it is being cleared out. So both these things are appropriate in the journey of separation. Essentially, when we say we want to advance on the path of moksha, what we are saying is that we want to increase our separation from the mind body speech. Mind body speech, that Prakriti portion, that discharge will remain. That we cannot do much about it, except that we remain separate and observe it. Natadrashta. The in-between thing of beliefs that we have brought, discharge beliefs, file number one has got. It is there the workshop is taking place, where we are trying to uh, dissolve those beliefs so that they don't entangle us and we remain separate under all situations. So that is our spiritual journey, and all these satsangs and all are meant to understand our prakriti, our beliefs, what are the causes, what are the effects, and how to get over or how to tackle those effects, the discharge effects that we have brought, how to tackle while dealing with people, how to tackle the emotions how to tackle the emotions that emerge from within, anger, pride, deceit, and greed. Those things will emerge, those things will come out in situations or dealing with people and dealing with situations. So when that comes out, we remain an observer and try to understand what are the causes behind that, and wrong understanding has led to those causes, and it is squared off with the right understanding. For example, one of the wrong understanding is that I am the doer and the opposite person is also a doer, and that leads us to the understanding that he is at fault, doshit. So there, the right understanding of today, as given by Dada Bhagwan, is that nobody is the independent doer. Vyavasthit Shakti is a doer. his Prakriti and your Prakriti are interacting based on the past accounts. So with the help of this understanding, we try to nullify the past understanding of doership and at fault, and be nullified with as a non-doer and non-faulty, So this is one example. Similarly, this is a process where we gradually, as we interact with people, with situations, we try to observe what are the emotions coming out from file number one in terms of all the four kashais and more. And then the best thing is to remain aloof and observe. But that is not possible always. So then to reduce the pushat is to reduce the intensity of those discharge emotions, so that then we are able to remain an observer, remain separate and be an observer. And then those things keep coming and going, keep coming and going. So this is the broad framework of our pushats, leading us to moksha or separation on a permanent basis. And Pratikraman is one of the tools which we did it in the initial years, and Kashyapji is doing that. So that will, Pratikramans will reduce, or will greatly reduce the burden that we carry and the difficulty we face while handling files. So with that perspective, this one of the purushas is something which will lead towards the separation. So that's very nice. And in case you have any questions on your purushat of doing pratikamans and any difficulties in doing so, or any success stories also, you can, I feel. And of course, any other Mahatmas if they have anything else to share. Jai Sachidananda.
Yes, Deepakanandji, are you there? Deepakanandji?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to add. Yeah, one thing I want to add.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So before online satsang also, when the online satsang was less, then little bit I was not in touch with a lot of satsang, and I got also little bit discouraged with things, because I couldn't understand things and all. But this Sambhave Nikal was there within me always, So that kept me linked somehow, so that I want to settle this, I want to settle this. Always this thing was always there, which led me connected. And then this all things, it led me to automatically online satsang, and so which I'm grateful to all of you. And then the Pratikraman, it has when we say we are completely separate from the mind, speech, and body, the person we are addressing. So that itself is a practice which we are doing for the separation. We are seeing for example, I'm facing some rats problem. So when I say that for Pratikraman, that the mind, speech, body of the soul, which is separate from the mind, speech, body, and all the karmas of the rat, So then I see the pure soul in the rat, So the abhav tiraskar, as Pulinanandji said, that decreases, for the rat, So I have to do my job, putting traps and all. But the abhav towards that rat is decreasing. This is what my experience, So dislike and abhav that decreased, So that is my.
So, Pulinanandji, okay, Elizabeth. Elizabeth?
Yes, Jai Sachidanand. I just wanted to share that the tips you gave last week, on breaking down of Vyavasthit, looking at Sanjogs and looking at Vedna, you said look at all the circumstances. That was really helpful in the separation process. You know, that breakdown was a step in detail that, you know, I needed that jolt, and I just wanted to appreciate both of you giving me that tip, giving all of us that tip. Thank you.
Yes, it's a very powerful thing. It's a very powerful. Yeah, sure. Yeah, Rajni.
You know what Kashyap was saying. So when he says, I want to do some Sambhave Nikal, so that's a bow. The bow and Vyavasthit Shakti has good connections, isn't it?
You see, if I put it like this, Vyavasthit Shakti brings to the fore our discharge karmas. You know, people come in our life, situations arrive in our life, favorable or unfavorable, and that generates the need to do Sambhave Nikal. Some things we are able to handle ourselves equanimously, yes, but things where we find that it's not possible, so then we say, okay, no, I don't want to get angry, look at the other person faulty, nor do I want to generate rag or not dvesh, so I want to do Sambhave Nikal. So circumstances by way of Vyavasthit generate the need to do Sambhave Nikal, and Dada Bhagwan has said that you have become separate. First, I was the name bearer. Now, my belief has changed and I have become the pure soul. But the file number one and its associated ragdvesh needs to be cleared, and that you may not get re-entangled in those discharge ragdvesh. Use the tools of ayagnas, one of them being file no Sambhave Nikal, Sambhave Nikal of files. So it is a tool of not getting entangled. You know, we see a little wonky person, we say, oh, a headache has come, and say, no, no, file has come. So the negative feeling towards the other person is immediately replaced by a positive feeling. So Sambhave Nikal helps us in remaining separate from the discharge, good or bad thoughts that erupt or bad feelings that erupt for people or for situations. So that is one. Similarly, Vyavasthit Shakti as the doer is two. And of course, seeing Shuddhatma and the Prakriti, seeing the Prakriti of the others, seeing the mind, body, speech of the others is a natural default process through the eyes, physical eyes of our body. And having opinions about that person or this thing is also natural inbuilt. Then if you superimpose the pure soul vision on that, that really speaking it's a pure soul, then that reduces or nullifies the impact. Only the physical relative eyesight vision, you know, that he or she is my brother, is a crooked person, good person. The relative vision and the relative feelings that immediately downgraded, no is also Shuddhatma, the pure soul, which Kashyapji just narrated that earlier I used to see the rats and a nuisance due to the rats. Now I start seeing Shuddhatma also within them. So the disgust factor for the rats or the displeasure for the rats reduces, almost diminishes, and then with equanimity, is able to then carry out the further corrective actions like laying traps and seeing to it that they are uh, taken away from the house without any, you know, about Tiraskar for them or without hurting them, without hinsa, you know, mentally or physically. So the need for doing Sambhave Nikal for rat arises because rat came into his house and were causing a nuisance to him. So that happens with all of us because this mind body speech has brought a lot of karmas which are now playing out by way of discharge karmas. And lot means it is right from birth to death. It's an ongoing process. So we will have files after files after files after files coming and coming and coming. So this awareness is required. But what is happening is, because of our pure soul awareness or pure soul pratiti that we have got, new karmas are not charging. Our discharge ego is gradually diminishing slowly and slowly. Aggression is coming down from our part, and essentially we are now working on ourselves. When we do not have this vision, that I am the pure soul, then we were working on our personal like dislike. We are working on like dislike of other people and situations, and we were in a mixed bag of happiness and unhappiness. Now we are in one-sided. We are gradually reducing the outlook towards others, and we are increasing our awareness on our mind, body, speech. And that awareness is then, now in that awareness we are now observing our emotions of anger, pride, deceit, and greed, and we are trying to nullify or square of them. Now this process, of which will take a few years, and as those reduce, as those discharge more and discharge kashai, as those reduce, then the effect of the external files, in terms of external people or external situations, will not have an impact on us, will not have an impact on discharge ahankar, because that itself is being diminishing. So although I said that from birth till now, say till we got Gnan, and now from Gnan to say end of our life worth, this time, whatever lifespan that we have brought. Now this journey, the impact, files will be there. Files were there for Dada Bhagwan, files were there for Mahavir Bhagwan, and files were there for everybody. Even after Keval Gnan, it is said Lord Mahavir had one major this thing, karma, even after Keval Gnan, where his own disciple, through this Tejolesha, fire, this thing, weapon you can say, on him, and then he had to suffer. But being the last body, so even he had blood passing through his tools for 6 months because the intensity was very high. It would not damage the body because that was the last body. So even but he was an observer, and then that account got squared off. So we will have files till the last breath, mind, speech, body, but the effect to us will be gradually reducing, and we will remain more and more anchored in our pure self, and we will feel like remaining more and more anchored in ourselves, our awareness and jagrati, our interest, our moha in the external five sense organs, pleasures, or pleasures of the mind, pleasures of the intellect, pleasures of the chit. All those will, the interest for those will reduce. They will be there, but they will reduce. They will come and go. They will come and go. So after some time, all the external elements anyway are associated with the mind, body, speech. The impact of those things will greatly reduce. And our self-awareness, and seated in our pure self-awareness, that will increase. So that's how answer to your question was, that how Vyavasthit and Pratikraman or Sambhave Nikal are interrelated. JSS Apt.
Yeah, Pulinanji, you said all the good stuff that is slowly, the Mahatmas are progressing. Sometimes you feel that, the progress is not good enough, or I haven't done enough, or something like that. Although, if you really don't sit down and analyze it, you know that, hey, you are really into the Gnan and all that stuff quite a bit.
You see, as we, you're right, as we do Purshat and things, stuff like that, a stage may also come as if one is you feel it's not enough or you feel like giving up. Other thing is also, now I've understood, I'm remaining reasonably equanimous with rag. I'm unput out by situations. So that feel good factor remains. Now this is a slightly danger point because we never know whether we have done enough. We really don't know whether it's enough. So the crux or our motivating factor to motivate ourselves. One thing is I've done enough for that, or I've done. I know. There is to see, are you able to remain separate in all situations? Are you feeling nirapota, in all situations? So that is the
Yeah.
test one can put for oneself. If that is there, then you can say, okay, let us enhance it. Enhance it till what point? Enhance it till the the state of being of Dada Bhagwan. Enhance our awareness of I am pure soul, so that it remains permanently in all situations and for all times, what is called as first vedna, the state of being that Dada Bhagwan was. In terms of degrees, he was at 356 degrees. So that could be our goal. So we can ask her, are you at that? If you're not there,
Yeah, yeah.
if you are not at that, then okay, we have a journey. Keval Gnan we are not talking of right now because it's not possible in this life work, but very near to Keval Gnan is possible.
Yeah.
So that's one of the ways of motivating ourselves.
Okay.
And I tell you, I tell you, one of the other ways of motivating ourselves is by
Yeah.
looking at the experiences of other Mahatmas, or looking at the experiences of other Aptaputras, sometimes from the speech of other Aptaputras also, we feel, oh, he is having this experience, he is having this awareness. I think I need to go over there also. So the success stories of other Mahatmas or Aptaputras can also propel or motivate us. Oh yeah, there's a step ahead which I can. If he can do it, I can also do it.
Yeah.
So that's why. And then for normal thing, which sometimes I say that Dada Bhagwan was also a householder. He had Hiraba, his wife, and he was a contractor. So even he being a householder, if he could achieve that state of being with this same Gnan, why not all Mahatmas who are also householders or having family, That's one of the way of propelling. It is one of the ways of propelling our intellect, which sort of counters such arguments. If he or she can do it, why not I also can do it? And Dada Bhagwan has said very clearly that I have come to this state of separation as a Gnani Purush, 356 degrees, after a lot of push-out over many life cycles. I have come the Kramik way. Kramik way means cleansing out Krodh, Man, Maya, Lobh, from life birth to life birth to life birth. And I have come to this state where it is all cleansed out. Whereas for you, I have given you grace, you are separate, and now remaining separate, you have to cleanse out. For you, it is very easy. And I've also given the tool for that. I've given the 5 agnas for that. So for Mahatmas, this process is greatly simplified, and also it is shortened. It is shortened in terms of time. That took so many life births. For us, it is a few years. Can be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14, 20, whatever. But in this life birth. So Dada says those who will practice my 5 agnas diligently will come to a state in which I am there. They will come to that Gnani Purush state or the Gnani state, the state in which I am, by doing the 5 agnas. So he has given us the tool, a simplified tool, and a guarantee that this will lead you to the state of being that I am in. Gnani to we all are, but Gnani of that intensity or of that stage or that level. So that's what I have to say. Okay, yeah, Mira, that's it.
Miraben?
Oh, Jai Sachidanand Pulinanandji, Jai Sachidanand Deepakanandji, Jai Sachidanand Rajnika, and all of Mahatmas, Jai Sachidanand. My question, Pulinanandji, was something that you just had mentioned at that time when you're in that, on the final stages to moksha, all of the external senses and all are all diminished, and we focus, or the Shuddhatma Anubhav is higher. Is that correct in my understanding?
No, Shuddhatma Anubhav is higher, but that senses is not diminished, is not there. The awareness is of a very high order, then we are able to perceive even the smallest of sensation which comes to any of the senses.
So we understand the sense, we see the senses, but we only see and observe. So my question is, does Vyavasthit allow us to, does Vyavasthit make the Anubhav more? How shall I say this? So Vyavasthit will not bring us any more files to clean up. Vyavasthit will, I mean, we will be done. Like Vyavasthit will be the, I don't know how to explain that. Basically, Vyavasthit follows our path, and as we have less and less sticky files and less situations, our path will become clearer, right?
As the files reduce, or the attachment to files reduces, our task become easier. Files may there, but our engrossment with the files, if reduces, then files will remain unaffected with the files.
Correct. Okay. So Vyavasthit Shakti will work with us, is what you're saying also.
No. See, it is like this. It is like this. The knowledge that what is happening in my life, or how events are unfolding in my life in terms of situations and people, that is governed by Vyavasthit, which I have brought from the previous birth. In the previous birth, I have charged some karmas. Now those are going to play out by way of discharge. So discharge means, in what way will the discharge take place? In some sequence. In how much, how will the discharge, with some intensity. So all those situations, why is it that you got this set of family members? Why is it that you got this education, this body, and then at work you made this wonky file, you got promotion, you didn't get promotion. Now all those is scientific circumstantial evidences or Vyavasthit that play.
Correct.
You achieve some task properly because of Vyavasthit. You could not achieve some task because of Vyavasthit. Vyavasthit is just nothing but circumstances coming together. That's they come ad hoc, no, they come scientifically. That's all. So Vyavasthit gives us a balm that nothing happened beyond Vyavasthit. Undue distress or undue this thing will not come beyond a certain level. So just to remain calm, that this is how things will unfold. That is one dimension to the application of Vyavasthit. The second dimension is you don't see the other person as the doer. You see he is part of Vyavasthit, is a naimatic or instrumental doer. So the understanding of Vyavasthit puts things in perspective, that where I was avasthit, that means in the previous birth, I was entangled in situations and I did some bhava and karmas that has generated this Vyavasthit, or the dissipating circumstances which dissipate my karmas, bring it to the front and then exhaust the karmas. So Vyavasthit is a piece of information which helps us to remain equanimous or calm. That third dimension is whatever is come, say unfavorable circumstances by way of health, situations, promotions, finance, whatever. Those have come, they have come with an expiry date, and they will also go away. As the Dada Bhagwan used to say, Sanjogo Viyogi Sabana che. All circumstances are of dissipating nature or dissolving nature. They will part, all circumstances are of a parting nature. Yeah? We were young, now we become middle-aged, we'll become old. So that is one set of circumstances. We are doing a job, then we will retire, second set of circumstances. And very briefly, if we can say that today we are online in this satsang now, which after some time we will disperse, you see. So the satsang has come, cement and gone away. So all situations or circumstances are of parting nature. So do not feel unhappy, do not feel elevated. Unhappy if you're in a bad circumstances, So just be calm. This will also pass away. And Dada says you don't even have to push it. It will automatically go away because it has come with an expiry date. And similarly, if you're in a very happy situation, you've got a relative or friend who you like and he has come as a guest for a few days, and then you feel, oh, why don't you stay some more? Don't you stay some more? or some money and this. Dada says even good situations are all of parting nature, and unhappy situations are all of parting nature. So just observe that they are of parting nature. Don't get disturbed or attached to it. So there are 3-4 dimensions to the use or application of the knowledge of Vyavasthit Shakti, which helps us remain calm. You see, how long I have to listen to my mother-in-law? Is she go yap, 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 when it will ever end or not? No, it will end. Vyavasthit. The time will come when it's over. When your discharge term is over, the same mother-in-law will be goody goody to you. So it's not the mother-in-law, it's a karma which is goody goody or bad, bad, bad. So Vyavasthit helps us understand things like that. That's what I don't know whether I've answered your question.
No, you have. So basically, I was thinking Vyavasthit will see, this is again because I'm thinking in a doership perspective. I'm thinking, Vyavasthit is bringing this file to me. Now Vyavasthit has taken this file away from me, which means that I have finished with this file. But that is not the way that it works. It works that I just have to observe. The file has come, the file has gone. That's it. That's all that is the observation. There's no judgment or doership involved in that, because that is Vyavasthit Shakti and it is discharge only. Understood?
Discharge of file number 1 of Rabe.
Correct.
And you see, doership is that the moment we say file has come, itself is a very profound statement. Because what is a file? It's a neutral word. Neutral in the sense there is no attachment or abhorrence involved in that.
Correct.
If for a sticky file you say file has come, so that the abhorrence for that file dissipates, and you try it out. Even if you meet a person who you say a best friend or a very nice relative or a colleague which you like very much, and there you say, oh, this is a file, even that rag or attachment will also dramatically reduce.
Okay.
Sambhave Nikal works on both. Right now, we are focused on the dvesh part of it, discomfort part of it.
Yes.
It works on both,
Also,
So the one is a file. So then the doership, he or she, is impacted to a large extent,
because that is also discharge. Correct.
There is also this.
Okay. Jai Satchidananda Pulinanandji. Thank you.
Thanks, Miraben.
Thank you. You've answered my question perfectly. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kashyap?
Yes, can I ask 1 or 2 questions?
Sure.
So first one, I wanted to know that about this pret, why doesn't they say they don't have physical body? I want to understand what is the scientific reason why they don't have the physical body. What is the cause of that?
Well, the little that I know of, as said by Dada Bhagwan, is that due to some exceptional and extraordinary circumstances, if a person dies before his lifespan is to be over, everybody has a lifespan. We call it years. He'll live for so many years. Technically, in spiritual parlance, it is not in years, it is measured in number of breaths one has to take, the inhaling and exhaling, The lifespan is measured in terms of number of breaths. Now, due to some extraordinary circumstance, when a person dies in an accident or something. Now, I'm just giving a very lay example, it can be anything. Due to some extraordinary circumstance, this pret is an exception to the rule, 1 in lakhs or maybe more than that. When one dies in such a situation, he dies before his lifespan is over. Typically, after one lifespan, the next body is ready, the next physical body is ready. But because he has left the physical body, so then for that time, before he attains the next body, he has to roam around. There is some timing factor in that. And because of which he does not get the next, so he goes and resides in others' body and eats food or takes sleep. That's what Dada Bhagwan has said. That how and why, I don't know, but this is what happens. Dada
So why
Bhagwan has,
doesn't the brain get physical body? Means he dies unexpectedly.
before the due date or due time.
Okay, so that is the cause of why he doesn't, why does the brain doesn't get the next premature death is the cause. That is
Premature.
okay.
Yeah. Because of which, then he has to live in others' body until the time is over. Then he goes and gets his own body. The electric body and the causal body go with the soul, and then the physical body takes off somebody else, and then exhaust that. The time is he passes that time and then goes to the new body.
Another thing, question which I was not clear, that regarding the life of cash money, Dadaji said that the life of cash money is 11 years. So I want to understand what is the scientific reason for this, that the life of cash money is because means with my intellect I can see limited only, but I see that maybe it can be more also, or that when we put in the bank, it can live for several more years also. So it does get exhausted, that is true, and nothing is permanent in the world, that is true. But 11 years that I want to understand more, can it be more also?
Well, Dada Bhagwan has told about money 11 years, and he has also told about other assets like gold. Gold approximately has a lifespan of say 50 years or so approximately, and house, immovable property. So that has a lifespan of around 100 years. Now, these are some natural laws of nature. These are some natural laws of nature for our present era, our fifth era. So in that, he said that everything comes with an expiry date. Even the fruit that we buy or vegetables that we buy, those will have nutritional value and life for a few days. Then the grains, say like wheat and rice, they have say 1 or 2 years. Then medicines, they have a few years. Some have 5 years, like that. Our body has a lifespan of say whatever 80, 100 years. Same way, because you see, essentially, it is an interplay of six eternal elements. They come and go, they come and go. This world is ever evolving or ever moving. It's not steady at all. So everything is of a passing nature. So just like food, grains, body, same way money, gold, buildings, all those have an expiry date. They naturally disintegrate or they go away. This is the natural law. Now, in that, he has said that the time frames for money, gold, and immovable asset are like this. That is why he said the wise people in India, a businessman, for example, in India, he would invest very wisely. He would invest 25% of his money in business for running the business, 25% in buying a house, 25% in buying gold, and 25% he will give money on loan, what we call as fixed deposit. At that time was lending money on loan, so that everything has a different expiry date. So he will never become a pauper, he will never run out of money. Money has 11 years, houses, 10 years, gold. If you see our old people, they would always invest in gold, because gold has a higher expiry date. And now coming to this is one aspect of the expiry date. But the other says in India, naturally, most of things get renewed before the expiry date. For example, gold that one gets, say, during a marriage and things like that. Now, by the time that person's children will grow up, then again for the purpose of children, the same gold they remold it into new jewelry. They break the old and make the new one. So that again extends the life of that gold ornament. So what was 50? Before that, if you again redo it, do it, then again it gets extended. Then again, similarly, house. If you renovate it, paint it, and all that, then again it gets an extension.
What about cash money?
Cash money, we keep on reinvesting. Na? Supposing you have to 5 years fixed deposit, then again you remove it from there and you put it in some other place. So again that life has extended. If it lies idle just as it is in a locker or a cupboard or whatever, then that will go away. But typically
Okay.
we keep rotating. Then the other thing is we spend it also. We spend it on our things or give it to others. So again, it has changed its format. Our investment, for example, shares, we buy, sell. So that's recycling. So any recycling extends the life.
Yeah, that is a very good point you put. Yeah. Recycling.
That is why Dada used to tell what is the ideal philosophy for money a person should have. People typically have a tendency to earn, save, and hold. Dada said, money, ideally speaking, should not have excess, nor you should have deficit or shortfall. It should just keep flowing. That is, money comes to the extent we need the money for our normal living, and it gets spent away. In Gujarati, जो पैसा बहता रहे, money keeps flowing. It comes, we use, and it goes. We comes, we no, not shortage. We should not experience shortfall of money, nor we should have excess of money. Because excess of money also is then again a cause of this thing, where to save and how to save and where to invest in all that. So a person is rich who has enough money, where cash keeps flowing, cash keeps flowing. So that is the desirable state. Of course, with this thing, riders, that if we have children, then we have to take care of the marriage expenses and things like that. That is an average savings, maybe savings for our old age and all that. So those are average concerns. But that is the desired normality of Lakshmi. People may have more also. There is nothing wrong in that. So flow, basically remain with the flow, because everything is of a impermanent nature. Everything is impermanent. Lakshmi is, or money is also impermanent. So just flow. Don't hoard it. Let it come. Spend it wisely. Spend it wisely. Because if you hold it too much, and I've seen, which is very true. And the Bhagwan has also said that a lobhi, a very greedy person, who does not readily spend money but keeps on accumulating wealth, money, then someday, by law of nature, he will get a person who will cheat him. That he will lure him with some nice investments here and there, and that money will go down the drain. So money, if we not spend wisely and hold it over a long duration, will anyway go. One of the means is either you get cheated. One of the means is either there is robbery at your house and it goes away, or sometimes uh, unnecessary medical expenses take place, big expenses, surgeries and things like that. So money just goes. Money goes in various formats. So as I said, rather than it go in way of, let's say, medical or way of robbery and like that, why not you spend it wisely on your own? Let's spend it for the welfare of others. That's the basic philosophy. So as an extension to that, he had suggested one rough thumb rule, that if you have an income X, say annual income X, then desirable is 50% for maybe your worldly needs, your family and other obligation, roughly 25% for your savings, and roughly up to 25% for charity. The formula Dada Bhagwan had once told me personally, one-on-one, when I got after I finished my studies, I got into job and my first salary. He said 8% to 24% one must donate of his annual income towards charity. Now this is a rough thumb rule. If a person's income is very mere, he just barely able to survive, then that is not the same. But a very small amount, kabhi chai pani pila diya, nasta kara diya, a little bit he can spend. depending on his needs. Now, if his absolute income is in crores and the needs are in lakhs, then he can go to the higher end of this thing, 25%, maybe more. So roughly 10 to 25% of his income on an average. Now, this is ought to be taken with proper perspective, not just pulled out of context. Goes towards charity or welfare, 25% towards savings, and 50% towards family expenses. This is a rough thumb rule, he said. This is the desirable way, with little riders here and there, depending on the practical situation. So he has given two beautiful insights on wealth. First thing, how wealth comes. Wealth comes by way of punya and not by only hard work and things like that. Hard work and intellect, the name it. It comes with punya. Then
Yeah.
how to spend it, how money comes, then how to spend it. As I said, this formula of 25, 25, 50. Then it is of a parting nature. So don't hold on to it. Just turn its flow. If it's going in the wrong expenses, then turn its flow towards the good thing. So anyway, it was going, it goes in the right direction rather in the wrong direction. Yes,
Yeah.
wonderful insights on that. Wonderful insights on that.
Right, good. And another thing regarding the money, which I wanted to ask, that it was said that the internal powers of those whom we lend money, they that means they come within us, they increase within us, the means some person comes to us to ask for money, so we get their power, that is what Dadaji says. I want some more explanation regarding this, how this happens.
I don't have the power, but Dada used to tell for ego. કોઈ પૈસા માગે, someone asks money, તો એનો અહંકાર આપણે ખરીદી લઈએ છે. એટલે by giving him that money, we are taking his ego. Sort of, he comes under a little bit of obligation. So this is what I understand, that he comes under obligation. So that's how we buy his ego.
Who also said that
Dada Bhagwan did, and Dada
his
Bhagwan.
ego decreases, and the other person's Shakti, powers, they come within us,
I may have to read that para wherever you have read it. If you can send it to me, I'll let it go.
Next time I will send it to you, or next time I will bring it.
Because you see, he must have said with some reference. I may have to just look at that reference before I answer it very clearly. And Dada
Yeah.
Bhagwan said, all my life I've done that. While he was running his business and all, people would come to him, that please help me, I'm in need of money. So Dada, you should keep lending. And after some time, felt that because then he would lend, then someone will return, then again ask for some more, and that process. The other said, "No, I want to stop this process." So he started. He did not ask for the returning of the money to all the people to whom he has lent money. He said, "Oh, if he comes, doesn't return, fine, good. So if he doesn't return, obviously he'll not come to ask for more." And that's how Dada Bhagwan spared off those files also. Yeah. And other thing, just very briefly, I will say. A very important dimension which I realize, which is a useful thing for all of us, which he also practiced. Yes. That to the extent we do not borrow money or we do not even take things from people, to that extent we remain pure. To that extent we do not come under someone's obligation. If I have to borrow some money or something or thing, then I'm under his obligation. Then whenever he says, do this for me, do that for me, then you are obliged to do it, Whereas if you don't take anything, then that obligation ceases. That is what he did throughout his life. He did not take a single penny, a single paisa from anybody. All his clothes, all his travel expenses for satsang in India, and all his requirements, he did it from his own savings or income. He did not borrow. And because of what that he says, because of that, this purity has remained and this speech is flowing so nicely. The moment you take something, then you're under obligation, and then your freedom ceases. So the mindset one must have. Typically, a mindset is what is the benefit I will get from this person in terms of say money or in terms of lift in a car or in terms of this. Now that is the Swarth Buddhi. What Dada says is that as long as you cease from that mentality or outlook, how I can benefit from the person, no. How I can give the other person, or how I don't take anything from anybody. Now, this is the mindset, not that physically you have to stop taking. This is the understanding or the rooted, deep rooted mindset one must have. What Dada Bhagwan said, that in his childhood, he then told all his friends that from now onwards, I will help you whenever you want, but you don't have to help me. My hands are there for to help others. You don't help me. So he erased the fear others had from him that, oh, Ambala has come here, you may be wanting something. That is remote. So he practiced it. One-way traffic. One-way traffic means he will help others. He will not expect anything from others. Now, it's a wonderful mindset which we have to keep at the back of our mind. Now, in worldly life, in social interactions, it's an interplay. Someone is in need of help, I help someone. I'm in need of help, someone help me. So that is a normal social interaction. That is there. But the greed part or the expectation part should go away. I will give. If someone gives me, is well and good, but I will give. No, it's a very wonderful thing, and it also helps on the path of moksha. Because the attachment, expectations, all those diminish to a very large extent. Our greed also diminishes to us. And as the extension of that, I think we just 1 minute. I can see we are nearing our time.
Yeah.
That when somebody used to ask him, Dada, he was a resident of Vadran, and then if you would visit Vadodara city, and someone would ask him that, can you please buy this for me? Say some banyan or some shirt or some pair, some clothing. So he said, okay. So when he would go to Vadodara, whatever chef who enters, he will say, by how much this is, and then he will take it and bring it. He did not have this habit of bargaining. There are other reasons for it. That someone ego will be hurt if I don't buy from him and things like that. Other things, but I'm cutting down on that. So he would buy for say amount X. So what he would say is, then supposing is bought for 13 rupees, and he might know that this is really not worth 13 rupees, it is less, but then he did not have this bargaining tendency. And then he'll say, okay, I've bought your garment for you. Then what he would say is that although I have paid 13, it might be really costing 11. But if I say I've paid 13, then he will have an allegation, oh, you are taking commission, you have bought for 11, but you're taking commission. So he would say 9 rupees, not even 11. He would say 2 rupees less. I brought for 9. So that there is not an iota of doubt in the other person that Dada Bhagwan is overcharging me more than what he has paid for the other person by way of commission. So this, to the extent he was obliging people without any allegation, although he has paid 13, he would quote less than the normality so that with the margin of safety, that okay, there's no allegation of. This was his very broad vision, even before he attained Jnana. I stop here. This is a topic of Laxmi and his behavior on Laxmi. I stop here. JSS.
Yes, it's very good. His time is up. So, Pulinanandji, will you continue this Vyavasthit Shakti?
We can continue as the Sambhave Nikal or any broad experiences people have, relations or anything. Because something will trigger. Now, today he brought up this point of Laxmi and something's happened.
Yeah. So that was good. Yeah. Okay. Can you just say mantra, please? Everybody follow.
Namo Vitratai.
Namo
Vitra.
Namo Arihandanam.
Namo
Arihantanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Vasayanam.
Namo
Namo
Vasayanam.
Vasayanam.
Namo Loe Savasahunam.
Namo Loe
Sabva
Sabasahunam.
Sahunam.
Eso Panjanamukaro.
Es
Eso Panchanamukaro.
Panchanamukaro.
Sauvabhava Panasano.
Sarvabhava-pranasano.
Manglanancha Sauvesem.
Mangalanam Sabvesim.
Padmam Havai Mangalam.
Paramam
Paramam Havai Mangalam.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Sajan Pulidanji Matmao, Jai Satchidanand,
Jai Satchidanand. Jai
Jai
Satchidanand.
Daben,
Everybody.
Datta Ben,
Jai
Kushaba,
Satchidanand.
Meera Ben,
Jai
Jai
Satchidanand.
Satchidanand. Jai
Jai
Satchidanand.
Pulinanandji. Jai Satchidanand.
Pulinanandji.
Jai
Jai
Jai Satchidanand.
Sambhave Nikal.
Pulanji, Jai
Jai
Satchidanand.
Satchidanand.